Hello, family, friends, and fans. I'm Fletcher Rhoden, and this is the Five and Dime Track by Track. It's part of the overall series called Fletcher Rhoden Track by Track, where I break down my albums track by track, don't you know? All right, so we're uh, into side one of what's like a two album length record, it's like a double album, called The Five and Dime, the best of 2005 to 2010. It's my Christian period. So we've got live songs, and we've got studio recordings and things of that sort. The best of a 5 year period. And this is one of my first CDs that were ever available too. I think it was my first CD. Now it's not on CD, but it's available in a slightly modified and remastered format on download. Wherever you like to download your favorite music, you can download mine. This song, in fact, there's a link below. You don't have to download it. You can listen to it for free by checking the link below. Then you can check out the whole album or do whatever. There's an entire playlist you can watch on YouTube for free of the whole album. 19 tracks for free, but it'll be more fun if you download it for what, $10. Then you've got it on your phone, in your car, in the bedroom. Okay. Anyway, so this song, speaking of sexy songs, I guess this song is called "So Do I," and it's when I was doing my Christian period, my Christian recordings, Christian pop, I guess. I was, as I've said before, I didn't just become some kind of, I didn't change my mind about things like history or science or secularity. I just the, worked the Christianity into it. I just added the spirituality to what I already believed about life and society and how things do work and should work, how they work best anyway. So I didn't become some kind of conservative person. I've always been a liberal person, and I still am that. Not that it's all about that, but I'm. So while I was doing Christian stuff in this period, 2005, 2010, it wasn't all Christian. I found a lot of inspiration there, as you'll find with these analyses, but it wasn't all that. So this song, "So Do I see in 2005 I did this EP called "On the Wings of an Angel." It was all five religious songs, religious pop, Christian pop, whatever, and people liked it. It was really a people were like, "Oh, this is so great! You're so talented." Because I guess I had new friends at church, and they didn't really know me from Adam. So um, from Adam, that's a religious joke. Anyway, so then I did this one called "Imaginary Friend" that was about other things. There was some Christian aspect to it, but it really was more about personal relationships that were happening in my life at that time. There was this old friend of mine who had been a dear friend for many years, but it was a toxic relationship, and that was I was a lot of anger that I was directing at him, and then there were the people around me that just weren't healthy influences on my life. I won't say who they were, but there were too many of them to list. Just put it that way. So uh, I had a lot of secular things to write about, and one of them, this song is just sort of one of those songs that just kind of, it's not really. This is not a song that was based on anything real or powerful, like a feeling of. I mean, it seems to be about a guy who wants to bang a girl, who wants to have love with a woman, or a guy, I guess. It doesn't really specify that she's a woman, but I just kind of assumed it would be that. That's the way I roll. And at the time, I was hanging out with Eva James, and there was some speculation about me and Eva. But let me just say here for the record, there we were always just friends. She made it pretty clear, and that's what was best. So, there was one guy who was a fan of her band, the Eve James band that I was in. He was like, "Yeah, you too." And I was like, "No, no." I was like, "Yeah, yeah." And I said, "No, no, no." He's like, "Yeah, yeah." And I said, "No, no, really." He's like, "Yeah, yeah." But that never happened. And so this song, though, "So Do I," you could hear it and think, "Oh." This is Fletch telling Eva that he wants to, take it to the next level. Uh, but really, I always felt our friendship worked best as a friendship, and our musical partnership also, likewise. And and that was the way things naturally happened out. So, and I love Eva. We're close friends to this day. So, hi Eva, if you're out there watching. So this song, you could hear it and jump to the assumption, which I don't know what anybody assumed at the time, but it was really just an opportune thing. You know what I mean? I mean, I do think that I was. I mean, I might have had her in my mind, but not in my heart. You know what I mean? Like I thought this is something to write a song about, even if I don't really want to live it. You know, but it's in my life and it's something that's observable. Like there are lots of songs on this record and on lots of my records that are just not about any particular person. They're just about a feeling. You know. So there's a generic girl whom I love, and but that's just a sort of a generic stand-in. Some songs are about a specific person. I won't lie to you about that. I mean, when I analyze the Wendy theory of that record, you'll hear about a real life trauma that it wasn't just some generic chick. It was a real person, and I've got a few of those. And a lot of my songs are about personal people, but a lot of them are also just whatever. I mean, it's interesting to note that in the song "So Do I," the two people don't ever get together, but the guy sort of wants to. With me and Eva, we just stayed friends, and that was fine. You know, I I I'm fine with it. So. But listening to the song, anybody could get that opinion. But it's about you and your coworker or friend or someone like that. It's more about you than me. Let's face it. It's not me. It's you. Okay, so that's that song. Also, I liked the rhythm of it. Dang 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 dang. Has that swingy, jazzy rhythm that I favor, and it's a staple of my stuff. So that's about all I can say about it. Enjoy it. Check it out. See if you don't see where I'm coming from, and enjoy it. And it's not a Christian thing, but it's in that period. So enjoy. Come back for another analysis, and until then.